TK, how's it going?
Yeah, we're back with football again, and we're doing a post-mortem of the crunch games of the Group C of the World Cup African Division games between Lesotho and Nigeria, South Africa and Zimbabwe. And with me to do that is Segodi, TK, Mustafa. I'm still Afolabi. Welcome to the show.
Okay, remember, guys, what I said. It doesn't matter even if South Africa is playing a secondary school team. When you're playing a match in a qualifying match and you have to win to qualify, that's a nerve-wracking thing. And until you score the goal, nothing is certain. Because a lot of South Africans were like, "Oh, we're going, we're going." Then when they found out they lost the 3 points, they said, "Oh, we're still going to go." But I've always been saying that until you score, you're not going anywhere till you score, and it's not easy to score in Africa, even when you're playing at home. And as TK mentioned, those guys from Zimbabwe, a lot of them have played in the South African Premier League, so they know the style of play. And what they did today was they parked the bus with 10 men, and South Africa comes away with no points. Very painful because now South Africa has 15 points. If they win the next match, they're going to get 18. If they come second place with 18 points, it's most likely they won't make it to the shootout because I was looking at other groups. Groups have 19 points, 20 points in second place. This is a very painful loss for South Africa because the South Africans were on cloud nine after drawing with Nigeria, but now everything is at risk. So what we're looking at now, if they win their next match, they'll have 18 points. If Benin wins, Benin qualifies first. South Africa's in danger. If Benin loses, then South Africa can qualify first. If Benin draws with Nigeria, then it's going to go on goal difference. And I think unless South Africa scores a lot of goals, they still will be in trouble. So now South Africa has to hope that Benin loses to Nigeria, and South Africa has to win. And we're not even talking about are we sure South Africa will win? They're not scoring goals today. They had so many opportunities they couldn't score, and this goes back to the problem that we've been saying that South Africa has to take seriously now moving forward in international football. Yeah, they have to start developing number nines, and they also need to bring a number 10. It's not going to be enough to just win games off of defense and holding the ball in midfield. What are your thoughts, TK?
Yeah, definitely, I agree with you. Today's game it was like it felt like it wasn't a football match. It felt like Zimbabwe just came there to be professionals and
Yeah,
somewhat spoil the party because there was nothing from that Zimbabwean side that they offered
nah,
in the game. So
nothing at
yeah,
all.
I agree with you that South Africa, they need to invest in proper, talisman and not only rely on the middle field. Because once your Mukwenas and your Mbules are out of the game, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Or if they're not going to get a number nine, they still have to figure out mass attack, like how some teams like Spain, when Spain was really good, they didn't have a pure number nine, but all of their players could score. Their attacking midfielders could score. So they have to figure out schemes in which to get more shots and also to finish better. What are your thoughts, Segodi?
I think we were very nervous from the beginning. We never played our game in the first half. Like we were very nervous. We're trying to play long balls. We never saw the passing game the South Africans normally play. Like
Yeah,
and Zimbabwe came there to spoil the party. We allowed them to do that. We used a defensive midfielder called Sitole, who didn't play in a long time. You could see he's out of tune. He's not in tune with the other boys. So, but anyway, I really think it will go to the last game, and I think we're going to win the last game.
yeah. South Africa will win, but the question is, what's going to happen between We'll get to that, not yet, between Benin and Nigeria. Afolabi, how did you see the South Africa's match? What is your insight from the match? Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, I think you rightly alluded to the fact that they need a goal scorer. There's a dearth of quality goal scorers in South Africa presently, apart from Lil Foster, who is at best average anyway, he's not so prolific. I mean, in the past, we had the likes of Steven Pienaar, Phil Masinga, Dr. Kumalo, Benny McCarthy. We don't have players in that ilk anymore. So they need to begin to develop players from the grassroots who have that kind of profile. I can imagine that Zimbabwe had already been eliminated. There was no chance of their qualifying. So they played with freedom. What they did was they came to spoil the party for South Africa. They defended in numbers, didn't allow them to have space. And like TK said the other time, a good number of the Zimbabwe players play in the South African league. So they understand the way the South African plays. They know how to get physical. It was like a derby game. Like you're playing two club playing crosstown rivals. So that, seriousness was there that they just wanted to spoil the game for South Africa. So going into their last game, South Africa must find a clever way to play and win. Now, my concern is about Nigeria. Nigeria to have problems of their own. In their last game, it's not likely that they would beat Benin. That's what I feel. It's not likely, really.
It's going to be a draw. And that means it's going to come down to goal differences if that happens. Yeah. And in South Africa, so South Africa has 15 points. If they draw, they're going to have 18. And
So if they
I'm
draw,
not sure
if they
that's
draw, they will
enough.
have 16. If they draw, they will have 16.
No, if they win,
If they
they'll have
win,
18.
okay, they will have 18 if they win.
And even with that 18 points, is the chances of qualifying as one of the top 4 teams is low.
No, it's very
so they
low.
have to.
Because you mentioned that a lot of those second place teams have 19, 20.
You know what? Afarabi, do you remember when Argentina didn't qualify, but FIFA did mago for them to get them? That's what they'll have to do for South Africa. If South Africa doesn't qualify, they'll have to change the rules or something, because we can't afford to not have South Africa in the World Cup. It's not necessary. So also Nigeria. Can you imagine a World Cup without South Africa or Nigeria?
Yeah.
That's what we're scared. That's what it looks like is going to happen.
Sure.
That's not good for African football.
It's not at all.
It's
not even good for the World Cup itself. It's not good for the World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. And once again, I'll ask you, TK, whoever made that mistake to let Mokoena play in a game he wasn't supposed to play, they need to find out who did that and fire them. Unless it was Bruce. You can't fire Bruce. Somebody needs to pay for that, because that was a serious. In fact, they shouldn't. That person should be hiding right now, because people will come after this guy. Who in the hell made that type of mistake? TK, what's going on? Because that cost them 3 points.
Yeah, now it cost us 3 points. The era, we try to shove it under the rug. It's like, no, what, we'll deal with that issue later. But now, because of where we threw, you could come to a situation where you're like, okay, now fingers are gonna be double pointed at him, as people sort of forgave him. But yeah, you are right. That person really costed the team. But also as well, these players are professionals. They should have, made more effort. You knew that Zimbabwe are gonna come and play, they're gonna play a low block. And why didn't the team just play with three defenders rather, and just overload the attack? So it was administrative and also coaching. Everybody here is to blame. So in the final game, now we're gonna be friends of Nigeria.
Yeah. But the question is, are Nigeria friends of Nigeria? Are we even friends of ourselves?
That's a big question.
I have a feeling that Nigerian superstars don't really want to play anymore because they don't think they can qualify. You get what I'm saying?
Super Eagles.
Yeah. That's going to be a crazy game. And Nigeria can win, because Nigeria, maybe we're angry now because we're not going to qualify. We say, okay, we're going to show these guys today. So anything can happen. What are your thoughts, Segodi, before I go to Afolabi? Yeah.
I think we played with a very low tempo today. We should have raised the tempo from the beginning of the game, but with the game for the last game, I think Nigeria has something there, because South Africa might draw the game, and if South Africa draw, Nigeria beats Benin, they are in the World Cup. Nigeria will be, and for the person that played Teboho Mokoena, the whole country should just be angry with that man. He should just leave his job immediately.
Like I said, I think, like TK said, it was an administrative problem. So it was everybody collectively. But they need to. That's a terrible way to not qualify for a World Cup. No, it's terrible.
No, it's not everybody. There's a person that is responsible for that, and that's the team manager. They know they're just protecting him for now. They don't want chaos now. Wow. They know very well who did it.
That's crazy, man. If I was that guy, I'll move to England. I'm serious, man. That shit is crazy, man. No, yeah, that's terrible. No. What are your thoughts on Falabi?
Yeah.
He's an old man. Okay.
I'm with
he's an old man. Yeah.
I'm with you on this. Whoever made that stupid decision should be held accountable, because South Africa is playing under pressure now because of one stupid decision. I mean, they were coasting. They had the qualification in the bag until the mistake was made. It's like scoring an own goal, really. And if South Africa ends up not making it to the World Cup, it will come down to this one stupid decision, which has to be decisively dealt with, in my own opinion. And like Mustafa said, there are no guarantees that Nigeria can win that game. But then again, Nigeria can spring surprises when you least expect. You never know.
Yeah. So let's move on to that. So we're going to move on to Nigeria. So